Hello everyone. Uh okay. So I have a lot of random stuff. I think I have sorry. I was playing with his wig and I think some of it fizzed on me. Anyway, so this weekend was my first time going to an anime convention. It's actually a local one here, OHAYOCON. You guys may have heard of it, I'm not sure. But it's my first time going to an anime convention. I love anime. I think I got OHAYOCON and Otakon, or however you pronounce it, mixed up. So I never thought it was here, and I never looked it up, and it's ridiculous that I haven't, because it's been running for years, and I could have went, at least in the last 7 years I've known about anime, so I feel really dumb, but we'll put that aside. Anyway, first anime convention. It was very crazy. Not as crazy as it could have been because I didn't have a room. So, since I didn't have a room, there was only so much I could participate in. But anyway, that aside, there was a doll meet every single day at 1 o'clock, and there was two ball jointed dolls, BJD. I could have just said that, whatever. Anyway, there was two panels. I went to both panels, and I went to the doll meet, and I took yay! I took him all 3 days. And it was crazy. First day I was scared out of my friggin' mind. I had to take him on the bus, which was interesting. Especially since if you've seen his case, you know, it's as long as he is. So I had to take the bus with a case that long. It was nutty. But I did it. And then I get there and like any tiny little bump or anything like that freaked out. I'm like, he's broken now. I just know it. At the doll meet though, I started to calm down. It was nice again to see all the different dolls. It was very fun. This was on Friday. After that, I ended up carrying him around, which was actually really quite fun because I don't get to do it. And I actually don't really have a big need to do it. Like if I was going to a sewing store like Joann's or something, I would probably take him with me to see what fabrics work with him and not guess and be like, oh, you know, I would probably do that. And it's a lot of crafty people, so they'd probably get it. I mean they wouldn't understand it. They'd probably still be like, what the hell? But at the same time, it's something that like you can kind of grasp, at least because I see women in there getting like their American Girl doll patterns, and even if it's for like their child or something, at least seeing a doll around doesn't like freak them or anything. So it was rewarding the fact that I got to carry him around, and it was neat because I like carrying him around, and I do around the house, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I'd love to have him with me, but you know, it was horrifying, but it felt so neat. I loved it. And of course, this is an anime convention. You don't get the same kind of stares you would get anywhere else. Like today, wild adventure end to the OHAYOCON experience. I left after today's doll meet and had to stop by the store to get a bus pass and a couple of food items, and I still had him with me. Now it was just his bag. I mean, he was in his bag. But I was like, well, wouldn't it be funny if I took him out and put him in the cart? But then I was like, I just am not ready for the step of people just like staring as if it's like the strangest thing they've ever seen ever. Um, in OHAYOCON, you didn't get that a lot, except for when there was also a cheerleader competition going on. They would look over and be horrified sometimes, but then you'd see the girl with the cheerleader girl all done up, and she'd have her American Girl doll with her, and she just would look and be like, oh, and I'm like, oh, we got you. But so yeah, it was fun. He got heavy though. I'd never, since I carry him at most around my very tiny apartment, and not even that far, like from one room, and now sit for a bit, and then to here, and then he'll sit down on the desk. I didn't realize, how heavy he got. He started to feel heavy. Like at first it was fine, and all of a sudden he just became a weight. I can only imagine what it's like for people who have the heavier dolls. Like I hear Volks are really heavy because of how they do their resin. And I'm like, wow, I could only imagine carrying around them every day. But then again, he also has his ridiculously long legs. So he's kind of ungainly a little bit carrying him. So it was very interesting. Even in his bag, he was heavy. But so that was the experience of its own. And then the experience of just being at a con in general with your doll, or with my doll. It was very surreal. And it was very, people did compliment him, which felt nice because like I don't get that like a ton, so it was just nice. But then the horrifying moment came where this woman it came at me and she's like, "Oh, BJD doll," and she was just like was she Peach or was she the other one? I'm not sure. She's one of the Mario Brother princesses. Anyway. And so I let her hold him, and she like smashed him against her face. It was like, oh, and I was like, and I didn't even freak out. It got to a point where I was just like, whatever, which was nice because I never thought that would happen. But anyway, Saturday was the big meetup, because Saturday is the biggest day at the convention anyway, or at any convention. That I've been to that's over a weekend. I usually go to Marcon, which is a sci-fi fantasy convention. It sometimes has a little bit of anime, but it's not really, and it's definitely not focused on Japan stuff like this one was. One was great. Anyway, sorry. Since Saturday was the biggest day, it was the biggest meet, and like there was like one of everything. It was great. I finally got to see. Hold on, Julie, stop, stop, stop. Ah, come in. Go ahead. Come here. Sorry. I'm probably not going to cut that out either, so sorry. Anyway, it was the biggest day. I finally saw, I'm not sure if you know her, Crimson Cat, I believe. Finally saw her ring doll, Wagashi. And the reason why I was so excited to see her is, first of all, she's one of the molds that I feel like him. You kind of have to see outside of the website to really understand their potential. And I'm not saying you'll suddenly love them, but I'm just saying that like to reach their potential. It's like, see, like we were talking about Bobobi's pictures, and how like they're just bad pictures. But if you see them like owners' pictures, they're great. Like Bobobi Elena's pictures are awful because the wig they put on her is like the bang goes like across one eye and it's long and like frizzy. So you can't see her face, and they don't have one of showing her face or even her mold or anything like that. I saw her somewhere else. That's why I even liked her. But anyway, so I got to see Ringdoll Wagashi, and she's so pretty, and I was so excited to see her because she's also in Ringdoll's old resin, which is sad to call it the old resin, but it is at this point. It's the translucent kind. So I got to see like how that looks, and it's very pretty. I really like it. It's a shame they're not using it anymore. I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way. They might give the option in the future. I know people are asking for it, but we'll see. Let's see. And I saw a Volks Liazette, I believe that's called. It's Charlotte. You know, there's Charlotte and her. I believe they were like a set. Not like you could buy them together or what have you, but they came out at the same time, and they're sisters or something. I can't remember the whole thing with them. I saw her in person. She's gorgeous. Like I thought though, and I knew this was going to happen. Seeing her in person, I had been looking at her and Charlotte, and I realized that while I love them, they wouldn't work for my characters as they are. So I figured that would happen, so I was ashamed. I saw Babobis in every single color, which was very amazing because the colors are so neat, and it's nice to see them in person and get a full grasp of what you're looking at. I saw, oh my god, a Pukifee ANTE, the full set. I finally saw one. I fell in love. She's so tiny. You can fit her so in your hand, and she's just cute. And like, I fell in love with her. I'm like, I might have to, she may be one doll that like I get that has no character, and it's fine. And she doesn't have to be that full set. Of course, if I can find it, you know, it might happen. I saw, yay, and this made me so happy. I saw wait a minute, her name just went on my head. Crap. Oh, there we go. I saw Fairyland's mini fee Chloe. I saw one in person, and that made me so happy. She's just as cute as you think she would be, and just as pretty. It was very nice to see her, and it. I know I'm going to get her in the future, and I was very happy. Also, saw a lot of L's, CPL, or Let's L, however you want to call them. I even got to pose one with him to see how a CPL would look next to him. It's not his boyfriend's mold isn't a CPL. Another character I want to get is that kind, but I wanted to make sure that like not all their faces, you know, have to match or anything, but they have to. I want them to have the same kind of feel all over if I can, or to the best that I can. So I got to do that, and I saw what other one? I saw one that I actually saw that today, but I'll count them all as one. I saw a Dalmore. I can't remember if she's Dalmore model or something. I know she's the one that's huge chest, like bigger than a Dolphy Dream. At as I found out today, because there was Dolphy Dreams. Her chest is bigger than a Dolphy Dream. She has wide hips and thighs, and like for some reason she was just like, I loved her. She was fantastic. I saw a Lutz Cherry MSD. She was so, oh, sweetest little face. I'm trying to remember who else I saw that I could say by name. There was many that I didn't know their name. I wish that I did, and I wish I could name them off, but it was nice to see so many, and Saturday was crazy. There were so many. We took up so many tables, and we had people asking questions, and some of the cheerleaders came over, which was neat because they walked through. It was just like, whoo. And on Saturday, I carried his big butt around. For the longest I did out of the whole convention, because I carried him up until the doll meet went until about like, I stayed until about 3, I think. It started at 1, I think I stayed till 3. And then I carried him through several panels. He went in his bag for like a second, and then took him back out for a couple more panels, and I carried him around basically until about 11 o'clock. I think I put him away when I went down to get a milkshake because I just knew that trying to deal with him and anything else would have just been crazy. And that's when we at 9 on Saturdays when the second ball joint doll panel was, and that was actually a very interesting panel. I knew the information because it's for people who, it was for beginners basically, but it was just nice. And the woman who ran it on DOA, she's Black Rose. She has so many dolls, and it was great to see them all out, and it was just really neat. And it was just really enjoyable because I loved being around doll people. The whole convention though was just great for me. A lot of panels that I loved. When I go to Marcon, I go to about like 2 or 3 panels the whole time. And most of the other times I'm just hanging out with my friends waiting until it gets late enough for the room parties. At this one, I went to panel after panel after panel. Just random ones. Like today I went to the Kurisugi one, which was fun. And then I went to a writing for manga one. I went to a couple of other manga panels. I went to a Japanese writing one, Japanese 101. I went to a horror movie one. I, of course, went to the ball joint dolls one. I went to, oh, there were so many that I can't remember all of them. There's a couple more I'm blanking on. Wait, there's one I still online. Oh, one about Yaoi with Gray Gares. If you know him, I do. He's a voice actor. It's not all he does, but like that's where if you know him, you usually know from there. That was really fun. And women in anime. It was just a panel about the women who do voice acting in America. It wasn't. I thought it was about like how women are portrayed in anime. A lot of those questions came up though, so it still turned out to be basically the same. But it was really enjoyable, and until like 2:30 on Saturday, 2:30 I guess Sunday morning, I was at the convention at panels, and that's crazy because that never happens. I usually end up at a room party or two, but that didn't happen. I was like, I need to go to this panel. I want to go to this panel. Screw room parties. I don't care. So it was very fun. And next year, because I'm going next year, I'm getting a room definitely. Because as much as I love Bry, I couldn't put him down anywhere. I had to carry him around. At the doll meet, I knew a couple people from the doll meet back when I did not have Bry, and I could be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Do you mind watch him for a second? I could do that, but I couldn't be like, I have to do this, this, and this. Could you watch him for like a couple hours? You know, that wasn't going to happen. So like I had nowhere to put him, and as much as I love him, so heavy. I know it's funny. By next year I should have his boyfriend by and Elia, and there's a possibility of having a another doll. I'm not sure which, but I just know that next year probably my carry-around doll will be probably Vi, who will be at that time the smallest at 60. Because seriously, carrying him around was a chore, and with his legs being so freakishly long, and his thigh joints being the way they are, They probably need weighted. I'm not comfortable doing that yet, but like I'd be walking, and then I sit down at a panel and his leg would be backwards. I had one scary moment where his lovely foot, this one to be exact, popped out of joint. I don't know how it did it, and I don't even understand exactly what happened. I just know that I looked down on it as all, as the words say, cattywampus, and I freaked until I realized that, like, wait, he's not broken. Wait, snap, and there it goes. But yeah, he was a lot of doll to carry, but I loved carrying him. It was fun. So yeah, that was my exciting random weekend. It was it was needed in a way. Having a very stressful time right now. I would go into it, but I don't want to like bring the room down. But I was glad to get out and do some stuff and get my mind away from stuff and just have a good time, which I did. It was great. And I can't wait to do it again. And it's, I definitely want to get to YaliCon because I enjoyed the Yali panels that I went to. So I would love to go to a whole convention about it because I am a so-called Yali fangirl. I try not to be loud and obnoxious though, because the whole weekend was full of that, and I'm sure people were sick of it. But I tried not to be that way. Besides, I like couples that aren't really obvious anyway. Like I like Slash more, or that's what I like to differentiate. I'm not sure. You know, between Yali and Slash in my head. Yali to me is like an established, we are together couple, and Slash is when like these two like I know it's mostly used in Western stuff, as they kept saying, you know, American stuff. But I use it for anime too, because like that, I separate the people who would go fantastic together, though it's just not going to happen in this particular show because it's about like a giant robot that takes over the world and not about them being together. I don't know, I like that more, but I like I like putting them together in my head rather than it being blatant. I like filling in the blanks. I think that's the writer part of me, but I'm not sure. Which reminded me, I went to a couple of writing panels that like made me very happy that I went to. But yeah, I just blathered for 23 minutes and trying to think if there's anything else I should say real quick. Oh yeah, him at a convention, he got so randomly dirty. I think it was mostly from his clothes. I've had him in this on Saturdays from Dalmore. I love it because it's sheer. um, Unfortunately, I think it, with me carrying him, it kind of smudged on his elbow joints. I got most of it off, so I'm okay. But it's funny when I took it off, and even when I got him home and I didn't take him out of the bag until morning, I'm like, I'm starting to relax a little as a dog owner. I mean, I'm not going to be like completely irresponsible and like pick him up by one arm and hope for the best or whatever. I mean, people may do that, but I'm not going to go from controlled space to I'm just gonna grab him by a foot and fling him around every day, you know. But I did let go, and so like overall, this was a good experience. I think for me to have gone to just get used to handling him and realizing that the real world happens and he will sometimes be in it. It's like I mean, it was it was a good experience for learning that he's not as breakable as I think he is, and I'm glad for that. He was very stable and sturdy, and even if something bent around, he came back, and he he stood for me. It was great, and he got a smudge on his foot from, I got these shoes from Dalmore, and I kind of made them fit, and I shouldn't have. So he ended up getting, I think, glue residue on him. I'm not even sure what he got on him from this shoe, but um, I just wiped it off, and I was like, okay, we're cool again. And it's not the end of the world that he got something on him. It's gonna happen. When the girl hugged him, I didn't freak out because I was like, wait a minute, it's gonna happen. And she doesn't know, and I'm the one who handed her over, and I'm not. And if I had said, don't touch his face up, like, okay, if she had broken it, okay, be mad, but I didn't say anything. I was just like, here, and yeah. So the convention taught me, not to freak out so much, which was good. But luckily I don't have much reason to take him out. I might, when the weather gets better, try and take him out for some pictures. But I don't want to put them in direct sunlight yet. That's a step that I'll have to cross when maybe a couple months, more than that. I'm not really ready for that. But so he doesn't have much reason to leave the house unless I could think of a really good place to take him for pictures. Otherwise he'll probably stay in here or come out to the living room with me. So I mean, I'll have to deal with it at OHAYOCON, but that's well off, and possibly Marcon too. Maybe we'll see. But so yeah, it's a lot of blathering, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to get it all in there and out there and everything. And wow, I made that dirty in my head. Stupid yelly panel some. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I blathered and blathered. So, bye. Thanks.